Alright. Welcome back once again to WMMA Now. I'm your host, Chuck Stevenson. Guys, sorry there hasn't been any videos or anything in a while. Unfortunately, when this is just a hobby, life gets in the way of hobbies sometimes. But we're going to go over some news and fight announcements that have been going on lately. First of all, breaking news. Carla Esparza versus Claudia Gadelha in the strawweight division is official for UFC 225. June 9th. This fight was scheduled to happen twice before in Invicta FC. Both times, Claudia Gadelha dropped out. Last time the UFC tried to make this fight, Esparza didn't want to do it. And you know, when the fight's already fallen through because of your opponent twice, I didn't blame her for not wanting to do it at the time. But it's on now. The question is, will both people make it to the fight? And if not, who's going to drop out? Frankly, I'm looking forward to it. I think Carla Esparza has some momentum back in her. She's got 2 wins for the first time in a while. And Gadelha lost a lot of steam when she just got pummeled by Jessica Andrade late last year. Next up, Cyborg versus Yana Kunitskaya is official to headline UFC 222 March 3rd. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of this matchup. I'm not a fan of this headlining a pay-per-view last minute. I think this is just sloppy, lazy matchmaking on the UFC's part. They're desperate to try to keep a pay-per-view to make that, that $65 a pop. Honestly, I think they should have kept Ortega versus Frankie Edgar the main event and made it a fight night and just started the numbering over again. Kunitskaya is not a bad fighter, but she's not a great fighter. Thing is, she hasn't fought at 145 since something like 2011 or 12. Since then, she's been fighting in bantamweight, where right now she is standing at 1-1 with 1 no contest at bantamweight. She got a no contest versus Tanya Evinger due to some referee shenanigans. Then she lost to Tanya Evinger, who, again, Cyborg destroyed for the title. Excuse me. And then Kunitskaya beat Raquel Paolulli over a 5-round decision for the Invicta Bantamweight title. So, yeah, I think this shows, again, it shows lazy matchmaking on the UFC's part, desperation to save a pay-per-view, and I think it also shows hypocrisy on Cyborg's part. When she was saying she didn't want to face Nunes, Cyborg was crying, "Oh, they need to build my division up more. I'd rather face a real featherweight challenger. I think Amanda Nunes needs to get some wins in the featherweight division first." Well, now here she is, and she's taking on another Invicta Bantamweight champion. So, bad matchmaking by the UFC, excuse me, and hypocrisy on Cyborg's part. Is anyone really interested to see this fight? I'm not paying $65 for it, or the rest of the event. Next up, Amanda Nunes versus Raquel Paolulli targeted for UFC 224, not confirmed yet. Of course, this also came out the same time as Cyborg versus Kunitskaya. Of course, this fight is not confirmed yet, but it's being targeted by the UFC. On to actual fight news. Confirmed fight, strawweight, Michelle Waterson versus Courtney Casey at UFC on Fox 29, April 14th. Hey, Michelle Waterson, karate hottie. I'm obviously a fan. Big fan of Courtney Casey, too. Both are very active fighters in the fight. Neither of them are very passive. Both like to look for the finish. A lot to look forward to in this fight. This will be, I believe Michelle Waterson's still in top 10, barely. But this will be Casey's first fight against a top 10 opponent. I don't see this one going to decision, honestly. They both like to go for the finishes, and I think all but 1 or 2 of Casey's wins have come within the first round. Next up, Bellator news. Denise Kielholtz versus Lena Ovchinnikova to co-headline Bellator 196 on April 6th. This fight looks to me like a striker's paradise. Denise Kielholtz, known for kickboxing, she's fought in, I think, Glory, and she's fought in Bellator kickboxing. She's ready to fight in MMA versus Lena Ovchinnikova, who also comes from a kickboxing Muay Thai background. I don't see this fight going to the ground. If it does, I see Ovchinnikova initiating it, where I think she'll fare better than she did against Alejandra Lara, her last fight. But yeah, I think expect this one. Look for this one to stay on the feet. Look for it to be fast-paced and pretty exciting. Next up, a not confirmed but targeted fight: Poliano Batalio versus Yuri Kondo for UFC Fight Night, May 19th. That would be in a strawweight division. If it goes down, I'm going to go with Yuri Kondo. She's on a roll. I'm not so high on Batalio. Well, I don't know that much about Batalio. I'm not high on either of these two, but I'm going to go with Yuri Kondo if it becomes official. Next up, and this is really unfortunate news, next weekend's UFC Fight Night in Houston card, Livia Hanata Souza is injured and is off the event. And then it was later on announced that Jessica Aguilar, her confirmed opponent, has now been removed from the fight card. Just Jody Escobel actually publicly stated on either Twitter or Instagram, one of those social media sites, that she was willing to step up. Unfortunately, I think by then UFC had already announced that they were canceling the fight. So I believe they are looking to reschedule Souza versus Jag for a later date. Next up in the flyweight division, UFC, Shayna Dobson versus Lauren Mueller, set for UFC on Fox April 14th. Shayna Dobson's known from Ultimate Fighter. She lost, I believe, in the first round of the Ultimate Fighter, but then she got a TKO versus She got a TKO versus in the finale, and then Lauren Mueller fought last year in Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. I think that fight was actually at 135, but now she'll be making her official UFC and flyweight debut. And last, as far as fight announcements go, for Ryzen, May 6th, we have Kana Asakura versus Melissa Karagiannis, and then that'll be in the Ryzen Super Atomweight division that they made up for themselves last year. And then we'll have Kanako Murata versus Wei Li Zhan at strawweight. This is a mixed bag here. I'm not a fan of the Asakura versus Karagiannis fight. Karagiannis right now is riding just coming off a loss. She lost her King of the Cage title back in, I want to say, November, December. Kana Asakura is on a huge win streak right now, including the Ryzen Super Atomweight Grand Prix, where she beat Reina in the finals. I see this as a step down for Asakura at the moment. Now, that's not to say that Karagiannis is a bad fighter. She's not a bad fighter, but you don't take someone who's riding such a huge win streak and then give them someone who's coming off a loss and is currently sitting at 3-3. I think this is just Japanese, trying to make their homegrown fighter look good. It's that kind of matchmaking. On the other hand, Kanako Murata versus Wei Li Zhan. This should be a really good fight. Zhan is also coming off a huge 2017 where she fought like 5-6 times, won them all. Excellent striker, amazing, very aggressive. Probably the top female fighter out of China right now. I have them as Wei Li Zhan, Zhang Jingnan, and what's her name? And one other girl, all right about the same line. Then you have Kanako Murata, excellent wrestler. So this is like a classic striker versus wrestler battle. I think that'll be a good fight. That's it for fight announcements. On to another announcement. Leslie Smith, UFC fighter, bantamweight. She's talked before in the past about wanting to get the UFC fighters unionized, and now she's announced some project called Project Spearhead. It looks like she's going to make a serious effort to get the UFC fighters unionized. Coming from someone whose day job, I'm a member of a union mostly because it's pointless not to. I didn't have to join. I did it because I didn't see it. It seemed pointless not to. I'm not a big fan of unions myself, but I think she's going to be fighting a huge uphill battle to get this done. I don't see the big stars going for it. And also, it's very hard to unionize fighters who are basically independent contractors. I wish Leslie Smith good luck. It could be a worthwhile cause, especially with the way UFC, the way they've treated fighters on Fertitas, and honestly under WMMA, Endeavor, whatever they're called. I think the treatment they've been getting is even just as bad, if not worse. And the favoritism has gotten even worse for some fighters over others. So I think it could be a worthwhile cause. I just don't see it working out. But still, you know, Leslie Smith's a cool chick, fun fighter to watch. I wish her luck. Guys, let me know what you think about these latest fight announcements and news announcements down in the comments down below. Send a like. And what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMAC now, the latest WMMA news powerhouse.